BoardwiseBites, authentic tips and tricks for the boardroom and beyond, is designed to provide insightful tips, tricks, and concise discussions aimed at enhancing the effectiveness, impact, and connectivity of boards. Featuring experts Marilyn Nagel and Dr. Deborah Carlin, facilitated by myself, Erin Selenchuk. Questions or interested in advancing your board experience? Contact Dr. Donna Hamlin at dhamlin@hhboardwise.com. I have another question here. How do board members address and manage, let's say, bad board behavior, especially in people who are out of line with one another, the leadership teams, consultants, speakers, etc.? How do you manage those personalities and those behaviors? Deb?
Oh, I'm so glad you called on me. I'm ready to burst. Well, you don't let it slide. You do not wait until later. You are proactive. You are in the moment, because the damage done, if you let it go out the door, is irreparable. And you've created a new energy in that room. So the leader needs to be completely on their toes and in the moment, present, and always conciliatory, compassionate, and appropriate, never mean-spirited, and never putting anybody down, but going underneath what is going on and saying, how about if we do it like this? Or I think what you actually meant to say was, and softening it so that we can not have the humiliation of the attacker or of the person who's on the receiving end of it. And that is a skill that is essential, that everybody has to learn, but particularly the leader. And that is one of the things that I do in my work every single day, is get people to reframe in the moment so that we arrest counterproductive behaviors.
I completely agree. And I'll tell you, I'm sure Deb and I both have been called in often when the board is dysfunctional, and those dysfunctions happen because bad behavior is left to go unaddressed. Ideally, the leader knows how to do this. There are times when the leader is the person being attacked. And what happens when that takes place sometimes is that they are not their best or highest self, and they regress into some old behaviors or get defensive. And so what we can sometimes do, if we're in the room, is we can intervene. But we also have worked with boards to say, if that happens, it's also okay for other board members to say, let's take a 15-minute break and regroup, reestablish what the board norms are and the way that we want to behave toward one another. If nothing else, it's a time out to stop what's going on, step back, and reestablish those appropriate behaviors. I've seen it happen with a consultant called in. The consultant we're spending a lot of money on having this person come into the board. Someone in the boardroom attacked the consultant. The consultant was ready to stand up and storm out of the room, giving the board a terrible reputation, and just disrupting the whole meeting. And, you don't want that to happen. So sometimes you do have to say, let's take a 10-minute break. Let's regroup. Let's have the executive officers stay in the room for a moment. And then you just talk amongst yourselves, how are you going to get things back on track? Using some of the techniques Deb said, reminding people of the way we want to treat one another with respect, maybe calling that person who was inappropriate for a sidebar, not doing it publicly, but just saying, hey, don't know what's going on, but let's get back on track here. So you absolutely don't want to let it go on, as Deb said.
That's a great practice. Thank you both so much.